Good morning, everybody. Good to see all of you fine folks. Holy cow. Look at this. We got Sniper that came in here first. Awesome. At 5:40. Good Lord Almighty, brother. That's amazing. Hey, Don, you made it second. Awesome. And of course, the infamous Judge Matty. He's an expert raider. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Eric Miller, good to see you. Oh man, if expert was finishing up at 5:40 in the morning, good Lord, son, no wonder you're tired. That's not good. Good to see you, Cynthia. Yeah, go take a power nap. I hope you do. Holy cow, Eris, of course, the lovely Eris. Get relaxed, kick back. This is going to be a chill morning. Hey, good to see you, Wolfram. Tom H. Good morning. Good morning. Glad to see you. Really glad to see you. Oh, bunch of, and I missed this yesterday. I am so sorry about this. Tom H was our newest member from yesterday, and if there was people sending stuff out, I was not paying enough attention to chat. It gets really weird on Sundays because we do this. We do an AI story time, which usually we're all looking at the screen, and I sort of have that to make sure that I'm scrolling through, so I forget to call people out and show appreciation. So all you fine folks that came by last night, although we were missing the dictionary diva, we had a absolute blast last night. It was so much fun. 39th, good to see you. Let's go. Brandon, you are the man. You are the man. And you are always welcome to come by. It doesn't matter if you're the 39th, the 1st, or the 110th. It's absolutely wonderful. I love this guy. Oh no. I'm like I said, I'm sorry, Tom, because you were kind enough to subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate that so much. Um my channel's just going by leaps and bounds. It's crazy. Hola. Hola in the morning. Absolutely, Don. Good to see you. Cynthia Williams, good to see you also. I actually I set my schedule up to be at 7, because, smart me says, hey, I was up late with doing stuff with the expert, and if I do this, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up oversleeping. I didn't oversleep, but it gave me a chance to pull up a few news articles that I was interested in talking about this morning. And also, it's a good thing that I did, because I didn't have any audio or microphone. If I would have fired up at 6:30, I would have not. You'd been going boomer all morning, all morning. Hey, I'm louder. Good to see you. Glad you can make it this morning. Oh yeah. So there was this there was this story I saw. It was a couple of days ago, and whenever I saw it, it was like, well, more than a couple of days ago now. But whenever I saw it, I was like, I wanted to talk about that. Of course, my happy ass doesn't do that like I'm supposed to, and I end up talking about other things. So here's this story, and this came out of it was New York firefighters who booed AG Letitia James to be sent to a woke re-education camp. Whenever I saw that, I was laughing so hard, because I'm like, what, woke re-education camp? What in the hell does that mean? Well, let's see what exactly it was, that she was doing, that was so important on this. So here we go.
Oh, come on. We're in a house of God. First, simmer down. I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
If you saw what that was all about, well, that shows you that she was not listening to her people. And so she was Fire Department of New York Chief Department John Hodgins said in a statement, today's ceremony was about one thing: the accomplishments of the members being promoted. The member whose behavior distracted from that celebration were an embarrassment and not befitting of the world's best fire department. But the New York Fire Department is taking it one step further. Those firefighters who booed Letitia James, who has led an open crusade to see Donald Trump locked up by any means possible, will be re-educated. Good morning, Nick Star. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Did you have a good evening, man? Oh man, it has been a couple. Thank you for having me on. That was completely unexpected. I had no idea that you were what I was walking into on that stream. It was such a pleasure to meet all of the What the Hill's crew. And Jeremy was just absolutely wonderful. That was a really nice time. It was great to listen to him talk and answer a lot of questions that we had for him. So that was really good. Thank you for doing that, Nick. I'm thinking there was a fundraising that happened there, and I don't know what the total tally ended up, total tally whacker, something like that ended up being, but it was quite a bit. Yes, you are a nutty bunch. Yes, Eris, words like that said, "Come 1984 comes to life." Yeah, re-education. I think that's somebody like drumming up some things that weren't said. So, after New York firefighters exercised their First Amendment right to protest corrupt city leaders, a letter was sent saying anyone who booed Letitia James would be sent to headquarters for, it was education. Rogan O'Hanley, known on X as DC Drano, reported while providing the letter. Well, there you go. New York City has become a Marxist hellhole where politics or prosecuting objecting gets in trouble, of course. New York City is run by communists. This is bullshit. A popular conservative commenter, Cat Turd, reacted on X. Yeah, we all know who Cat Turd is. He's good people. I was talking to somebody that knows him, and so I can't verify this, but says that he's like in bed by like 8 o'clock. He's like, I have work to do. I have things to do. But it looks like here's the letter that was sent to them. I'm here to address the behavior of firefighters who attended to Thursday's promotion. The behavior was grossly inappropriate, protesting and heckling. This was a promotion ceremony to honor members who made sacrifice and worked hard to achieve the day. They had close family friends that were there to celebrate. And absolutely no one should have been subjected to what happened based on their political beliefs. It was disrespectful to the speakers, to the promoted members, and their families. Yeah, but then you shouldn't have had Letitia in there. That's a novel idea. Oh yeah. So what we get right now got that up to 15,162. That is awesome. That totally rocks. Way to go, Nick. That is really cool. I love seeing how this group comes together. A wild bunch for damn sure. This was not a political event, and Letitia James was not there to give a political speech. Yeah, but she's been other places to give political speeches. If these folks are so vehemently just in disagreement with her, they should be allowed to voice their protest on her coming out to do anything. I've got no dog in the fight. I don't care one way or the other. Well, I'm sorry, we got new comments rolling in. You guys definitely keep me on my toes. Cat Turd is absolute sweetheart of a person, so that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, no, yeah. Might do an Easter chart facer for charity event. That'd be hilarious. When is Easter? I know it's coming up soon. I know that we have St. Patrick's Day coming up, and I mean, it's completely wild. The that just what 2-3 months ago. Geez, what is today? The 11th, March the 11th. It was 2 months ago today that my basement flooded. March 31st is Easter. See, these are things that I should know, but because I'm not a religious person, I don't tend to remember a lot of the holidays. So, politics aside, the general is a friend to the UFA and UFOA and support of our department. She has come to the hospital on more than one occasion to support us when one of our members is seriously injured or has died. These actions reflect very poorly upon the diminished indignity of the occasion. Instead, the news reports talking about accomplishments of our members has talked about the politics and our poor behavior. Well, it does happen. Act in a manner befitting the uniform that you wear, nothing less should be tolerated. So, what would have probably been more appropriate? Them not to show up. That maybe might have been more appropriate, just to not show up to honor these men, women of the fire department. States, among other things, it lays out the next steps. They have a DC visit. They'll have somebody visit the firehouse that had the member promoted, relay a bullet point message. They should understand that BITS is gathering video and identify members that brought discredit to the department. New honor members come forward. They will come to headquarters to be educated why their behavior is unacceptable. And here's what I would tell them: pound dirt. Just go screw yourself. That's exactly what I would tell them. If someone tells me that I'm going to have to go and be educated on how to achieve things better, go bite me. You know, you want to act like I'm some sort of petulant child? Yeah, go to hell. Hell slipping. You have not hit that like button. Grandma, so I play the grandma bunny. Oh, nice, nice. I like that. There's not a word in the memo about Attorney General Letitia James' partisan mission to abuse her law enforcement office to carry out political vendettas against the Democrat Party enemies like former Donald Trump. It's interesting to show how partisan only runs in one direction. If you boo Donald Trump, nobody cares. If you boo a Democrat, you get sent to a woke re-education camp, if not canceled outright by intolerant left-wing bureaucrats. And it's usually the bureaucrats because generally, most people are really, really good. You know, I mean, most people are in general are good. Well, and of course I'm showing this one right here, but what I really want to show you is what the AP had to say about this, because this is hilarious. And if you hadn't seen what happened during my stream on Friday, where we listened to him call an illegal that killed Lake and Riley, um, and of course that couldn't be tolerated by all of the gatekeepers on the left, and so what did they do? They shamed him. They said, "Oh, look, Mr. President, you said a bad word. You called an illegal immigrant illegal." Hmm. He used the correct term. I actually gave him kudos for it. But no, that was going to cause some pushback because, of course, on Saturday, he regretted using the term illegal during his State of the Union address to describe the suspected killer of Lincoln Riley. And yes, it would be suspected killer because he has not yet been convicted. Although, whenever you got blood on your hands, baseball bats in your back pocket, and it's your semen on her, well, they might have gotten you. As his all but certain 2024 GOP rival, Donald Trump blasted the Democrats' immigration policies and blamed them for her death at a rally attended by the Georgia nursing students' families and friends. Biden expressed remorse after facing frustration from some of his party for the use of the term to describe people who arrive here or living in the U.S. illegally. So instead of using the term illegal as someone that is illegal, they have to put these long sentences in there. If you're here illegally, then you're here illegally. If you're here legally, then you would be considered an immigrant, not an illegal immigrant. It's really not that hard of language. I mean, language means a whole lot, except whenever you're talking to some people on the left. Shamed him, stopped showing the clips, and we'll rewrite history once all is said and done. That he never said it, that he never did it, that he's old and doddering. I shouldn't have used it as it's undocumented. That's illegal. It's simple as that. You're breaking the law, you're doing something illegal. He said in an interview with MSNBC's Jonathan Capehart, taped in Atlanta, where the president was meeting with small business owners and holding another rally. Trump campaigning in Rome, Georgia at the same time assailed Biden for the comments. Joe Biden went on television, apologized for calling Lincoln's murder an illegal. He said it to loud jeers and boos. Biden should be apologizing for apologizing to this killer. And back and forth, they underscored how Riley's murder has become a flashpoint in the 2024 campaign, a rally cry for Republicans who have seized on frustrations over the Biden's administration handling of the U.S. Mexico border during the record surge of migrants entering the country. An immigrant from Venezuela who entered the U.S. illegally has been arrested and charged with their murder. So it's an illegal alien arrived from Venezuela and killed her. I mean, it's not really. It's not even illegal immigrant. It doesn't matter. Illegal alien to this place, a foreigner, doesn't matter. And it's, it really sucks that people are using her as a flashpoint. But there's a reason why the Republicans really jumped on this in a most glorious of ways, was that they couldn't even say her name. It was because of the policies that certain and I live in Georgia, so I know a little bit about this. There's certain places here in Georgia where they want to have it where it's basically a sanctuary city without calling it a sanctuary city. So it's like, we have to be nice to our immigrants, is what they'll say. Or migrants. This is another term that they'll use. Sometimes they don't even use the word immigrant. And then they will say things like, well, these people are, seeking asylum. They're asylum seekers. And they will avoid calling them illegal because of the trauma that it might cause. Well, screw you and your trauma. Like, is a person here legally? Well, if they're not, they're illegal. I mean, I've had a couple of friends that have made their way across the border. Had one of my best friends' husbands was from England, and he was here legally. He went through all the paperwork. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and it took him multiple years to get through the whole process of it. And he probably could have gotten through that process much quicker had it not been, for people storming the border like crazy. You're an immigrant, came here 39 years ago legally. Absolutely. And that's what America needs, is people that want to be here go through the process of being here legally. I mean, you try taking your happy self to some of these other countries. Hell, even go to Mexico. Just show up there without a passport. Man, they will pack you up and send you right back home. They don't care. They don't play that stuff going the other way. Paperwork, fingerprint, AIDS, and TB test. Yep. Shizzy, stop. True people seeking asylum do not travel enough. Yeah, we know this. It's a damn invasion done intentionally for votes. Yes, we know that it is, Eris. We keep it toned down here. Both my grandmothers were legal immigrants, one from England, married to grandfather, and one from Germany. Yeah, I have, let's see, my grandfather came from, on my father's side, came from Poland, and my grandmother came from Germany. And that would have been, well, hell, that would have been before World War One that they came over. Just think about that. That's how old my grandfather was. He was like 2 years old whenever he stepped off the boat. Yeah, and raised like 7 kids. I mean, back whenever they were just poor ass Polacks, It's like, yeah, they were in New York, and they came in on Ellis Isle, and then they ended up in Chicago, and both of them at different times. So wild how that happened. Joe Biden went on television, apologized for calling her illegal. Back and forth underscored Riley's murder. Yes, it does. We share your grief, told them in his remarks. Trump, in a speech that lasted nearly 2 hours, hammered Biden on the border for mispronouncing Riley's name during his State of the Union. Uh-huh. Past week. What Joe Biden has done on our borders is a crime against humanity and the people of this nation for which he will never be forgiven. Trump charged, alleging that Riley would be allowed today if Joe Biden had not willfully and maliciously eviscerated the borders of the United States and let loose thousands and thousands of dangerous criminals into our country. Yeah, whenever you're not vetting people, you tend to let people go. It's amazing. Oh, you're from Germany. Awesome. That's very cool. Yeah, my grandmother was from Germany, and it's so strange because on my mother's side, my grandmother was born in West Virginia, but her family was from Ireland. Yeah, I think that's right. Either Ireland or Scotland. I can't remember because she wouldn't talk about it too much. I'm sure if I trace the family tree, because someone in her family actually did keep track of the family tree and still does to this day. My grandfather, his family came from England, and he was also I believe born in West Virginia and moved to Indiana um, pretty early on in life, and they built they built a life there. I mean, it's amazing, talking to my grandfather whenever he was still alive, and him to during the depression, what he had to do to just make ends meet. I mean, he was gone for months at a time, and that was before and after World War II. So one grandfather was in the Army Air Corps, and the other one was in the Navy. Yeah, my grandfather was in the Navy for his whole term of service. Then he got out. It's so crazy. Your husband's great grandparents migrated from Germany, hence the last name. That's nice. And your great grandparents on the maternal side migrated from Ireland. That's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, and it just sort of takes away the I don't know how to put this, the tenacity that somebody has put forward to show love and appreciation for the United States, to integrate themselves into the United States. And it's not that we should have to change our ideals about people that are coming here, but they should want to change their ideals coming into the United States. And knowing that here in the US, we don't care if you're Hispanic, if you're German, Russian, Polish, Irish, Italian, French, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. I think you'll see that a lot in the South. A lot of people will make jokes about, oh, you're a damned Yankee. But you also see that those same people will be the most welcoming. They'll invite you into their home. They'll you know be the kindest to you as they possibly can be, and not in a looking for anything, which sort of throws Northerners off a lot because they're used to, well, why are you doing this? Why are you being so nice to me? I don't trust you. It's like, no, it's just the way we are down south. Very nice to everybody until you burn us, and then then we go hell's fire on your ass. But other than that, we're usually pretty chill with people here in the South. And no, it's actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. It's all banjos, and we've got nothing but hate and spite. We're all inbreeding and things like that. Does that sound better? So speaking of wild stuff, I don't know if you've ever heard of this lady. Um, and whenever you see her, you're going to go, "Oh my gosh, yes, this lady is awesome." So I'll let her say it herself in case you haven't heard of her.
Good morning, y'all. I don't have a Twitter. I did at one point, but my account got removed for whatever reason, and I just hadn't got around to making another account. But apparently, I'm trending on Twitter right now because some girl, hey Meryl, some girl said that my accent should be illegal. Women shouldn't do manual labor. Oh, what else did she say? American women are basically men, and she just said that I was not feminine. Ooh. And I would tell y'all this girl's name, but I can't remember it because I don't have a clue who she is. So that should tell you how relevant this person is. But I just think it's hilarious because I grew up as the weird kid in high school who hunted and fished too much because back then it wasn't cool for women to hunt or fish or the whole country lifestyle. And I'm so proud of all the women in the outdoors now who are making that more cool or popular. So proud of us. I think we're doing great. But I've been helping Dad build houses since I was 15. When I was a senior in high school, I taught kids how to weld in ag class. So I've done.
Just imagine. Like her name is Hannah. And she has a YouTube channel that's really awesome. And she's in Alabama. She goes and does noodling. Which if you don't know what that is, where she'll go out and basically put her arm down a catfish's throat, pull it up out of the water. Yeah.
Not manual labor. When I think of manual labor, I think of what my dad does. I'm nowhere near that. I just help.
Oh, just you wait. You'll see more of her.
And it's fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of blue collar women out there who are also feminine. And so I just think that you should embrace your own individuality. You should be yourself. And don't worry about what anybody else said because these folks talking about me and think they're going to offend me, that ship sailed a long time ago. I've been getting picked on my whole life. I grew up around men. Well, so don't be scared to build your own box and don't try to fit in anybody else's. Be your own person and you'll be happier in the long run because of that. And don't worry about what anybody else has to say. Hope y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, she's awesome. If and what I'll do is I'll show you her channel. She's just an amazing lady. I've been following her for quite some time. I actually pulled up some stuff where she was out doing some of her bow hunting, and it's pretty damn cool. Oh, let me see if I can find her. It's Hannah. I think that's right. Is this it? Nope. Damn it. I will find it here. I can't remember the name of her channel, but she is amazing. Like off the top of my head, I forget damn names so bad. And it's Hannah. I'm trying to remember what her last name is. Hannah Barron. That's right. There we go. So I will, and for those of you that want to talk about how unfeminine she is and all this kind of stuff, let me show you a little bit about what she does, just so you have an idea. Okay, here we go. So this is her. I should have instead. So this is her, the unfeminine one.
Today we had some of our buddies from Idaho here. This is Paisley. We had her daddy Jeff. I think he's inside washing his hands now. We got us a fish to eat. We caught several, and Paisley got the pull.
So this is what she does.
Oh, I'm going to smell.
Oh, there we go. Hang on to him, baby. You got him. Pull him to you.
There we go.
Look at that big old fish. Grab his tail.
Oh!
Hang on to him. Hang on tight.
There you go,
Hang
girl.
on. You got it.
That's what she does. She goes noodling. That's what noodling is. She was catfish. Yeah. Yeah. British accent for you. Not even, yeah. So people are getting upset because they're calling her unfeminine. How many people are still dragging because some bureaucracy decided they could change time? Well, that is how it goes. Yeah, Hannah Barron, she is an awesome young lady, and You know, she's got a couple of kids, and she just does her own thing. I mean, hopefully that didn't get me any sort of like copyright for showing her stuff, but she's a wonderful, wonderful person, and just as kind as could possibly be. So it would make sense why they want to get rid of her. Well, back to what I was saying about this with Biden, as he feels that it's important for him to be more concerned about immigrants, calling them, you know, by their proper name as illegals, than being concerned about this family and the pain that they're having to suffer because of his bad policies, and the loss of their daughter's life. Biden earlier this year bucked activists within his party by agreeing to make changes to U.S. immigration law that would have limited some migration. The deal that emerged would have overhauled the asylum system to provide faster and tougher enforcement. It would have added $20 billion of funding. But see, they don't tell you all the rest of this. They don't tell you the rest of this story right here. They don't tell you the rest of this story. The rest of the story is part of what they wanted to do for their border solution was to send close to $70 million to Ukraine, over $70 billion, $70 billion to Ukraine. And of course, they were going to send, what is it, 30 billion, something like that, to Israel. And then they were going to send 20 billion to the U.S. for handling U.S. border issues that I think is a much bigger problem than anything else. Yeah, absolutely. Hannah Barron. Yep, found her. No problem. Yeah, if I ever ran into Hannah Barron, I would probably enjoy just sitting there and talking with her, because she seems very, very chill. And she doesn't do a whole lot, you know, because she only streams whenever she feels like it, or shows videos whenever she feels like it. I think she does a little bit more of the editing. And the reason is because she does a lot of work. I mean, if you know, she builds houses. She, you know, goes out and does catfish noodling. She, you know, she's a driven woman. And that right there is impressive. I don't care if someone finds her a little bit tomboyish. I mean, whatever. My wife is a little tomboyish, but she's also very feminine. The changes became part of a short-lived bipartisan compromise that was quickly killed by Republican lawmakers after Trump made his opposition known. Well, it has nothing to do with Trump either. You love accents. Some just take me longer to understand. Hey, nothing wrong with that. After the deal's collapse, Biden has been considering taking executive action to try to curtail migration. Why would he be considering? He should just do that. But he's expressed frustration that his lawyers have yet to devise options that they can believe can pass under muster in federal courts. Of course. Yeah, you're not going to flip the script on Republicans on arguing that they're more interested in being able to talk about the issue in election year than taking action to fix it. Among those who attended the rally was Taylor Greene, who represented Rome in Congress and yelled at Biden during Thursday's State of the Union. Say her name. Yeah, they couldn't. And of course, you know, tomboyish can be hot too. Damn right they can. There's nothing wrong with tomboyish at all. But, you know, if tomboyish to the point where it's where they're not trying to be a man. They're soft, feminine, but still, you know, hard and do work. I mean, it's nothing hard with that. The phrase was popularized by activist Crenshaw in 2015 following the death of Sandra Bland, a 28-year-old black woman who was found dead in a Texas jail cell a few days after she was arrested during a traffic stop. Yeah, but that was not coined by him in 2015. That was coined much earlier. Crenshaw and others began using the phrase draw attention to cases in which black women are subject to police brutality. In 2020, the hashtag Say Her Name helped put more public scrutiny on the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. 20-year-old black woman in Louisville, Kentucky was shot and killed in her home during a botched police raid. Yeah, I watched that, and that was there was some pretty botched stuff that was happening, but also dude opened fire in his apartment, and they returned fire. I mean, I don't think that was a good situation whatsoever. And the fact that, you know, they were there to serve up a warrant, knocked on the door, never got a response, knocked on the door, and then gunfire erupted. Yeah, that was crazy. And I don't hold the guy liable that was that opened fire. Just know that there's going to be a result of it. I mean, it is a horrible accident of all that happened. Trevor. Yeah. The term illegal it's always common. I don't care what they say about it today, particularly among Democrats. Well, because they like to change words. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them like to change words. Biden used the term Thursday during an exchange in which the president pressed Republicans in his address to pass a bipartisan border security deal. Greens then shouted at the president to say Riley's name, adding she was killed by an illegal. By an illegal, that's right. Biden responded immediately before appearing to ask how many people were being killed by illegals. Which is just never a good look. He added, to her parents, I say my heart goes out to you, having lost a child myself. I know he didn't say lost children myself. What he did is he started making it all about him. And that is never a good way to go. Speaking to Capehart, Biden said, look, when I spoke about differences between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about in the border was the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about what? Holy crap. That is not what he said. This is the way that Joe Biden talks. See, he's trying to turn this around, because this is what Biden used to say right here. He used to talk about the jungle and the people coming into the jungle. Yeah, I remember what Biden was saying back in the 80s. A lot of people don't remember the racist comments that man would say. And yes, he would use the N-word on a regular basis. That was Joe Biden. And he can't wash that away. So don't give me any of that crap. Sorry, I'm going to get a little pissy with that guy if I keep talking about him, because that guy just really is annoying as hell. So we'll take it the other way here and say something good about somebody else. Sure, this happens instead. Here we go. One of America's last two presidents knows how to act humanely. The other is Joe Biden. At his State of the Union address, Joe Biden tried and failed to say her name. He botched her name twice, which is Lincoln Riley is a football coach. Then he downplayed the significance of her death, even apologized for calling the inhumane animal who bashed Riley's head while she was jogging near the University of Georgia an illegal. Tonight, Donald Trump not only said Lincoln Riley's name correctly, but he gave Joe Biden a lesson on how to be humane towards a grieving family. Trump demanded justice for the 22-year-old nursing student who was slain by also he's accused of a Venezuelan illegal named Jose Ibarra, whom Joe Biden administration refused to deport. Trump delivered a strong statement on behalf of Lincoln Riley in front of a Rome, Georgia campaign rally with Riley's parents in attendance. Sorry. Lincoln Riley would be alive today if Joe Biden had not willfully, maliciously eviscerated the borders of the United States and set loose thousands and thousands of dangerous criminals in our country. didn't see anywhere where he called them vermin. Current administration is as aware as Waldo. Neither the president or vice president is anywhere to be seen on any important issues. Ice cream and Venn diagrams. Refugees in the UK. Well, let's see. If for example, they were a Cuban national that was fleeing fleeing Cuba, and they would come to the U.S., they would be able to seek asylum. It's been like that for quite some time, but they're definitely concerned. We're choking on you're choking on the BS here. Yes, sorry. Mm. Mm. Donald Trump also comforted Lake and Riley's family for tonight. Tonight, Donald Trump met with Lake and Riley's family and consoled them. Travis from Flint noted also tonight Joe Biden went on TV and apologized for calling the man who did it illegal. How can anyone vote for Biden at this point? Well, they will. They can and they will, and that's their right to vote for whoever they want to. The political commenter, of course, is remarking on Joe Biden's about facing using the term illegal, which is a term referring to someone who is here illegally. There you go. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It is undocumented. No, it's documented that you said illegal. We've got proof. Biden's rhetorical conversation reversal came after the racial squad led a campaign to compel him to take back the language. Yes, Bean. That's not what we're saying whenever we're saying someone is here illegally. That's not what we're saying. Jeez Louise, these people are so full of themselves. Just like we should not be implementing Republican policy, we should not be repeating Republican rhetoric. How about Americans? You don't care about Americans, people that are, normal. Yes, but people being here illegal. So illegal is an action, not a thing. See, if they knew the difference between a man and a woman, and realized that there's only two genders, that people they can be legal, but they're not. That's not a gender identity like she thinks it is. So there's I think what her problem is, she's so confused about gender identity that they can't figure out the difference between someone being here legally and not. Let me be clear. No human being is illegal. Well, no, that's not what people are saying. They're saying you're here illegally. That makes you an illegal. It's a verb, not a noun. It's all redefinitions. Calling them undocumented is a new phrase. We see, yeah. It's and I'll continue to use it because no matter what they're saying, I'm not gendering somebody, so you can kiss my ass. Simple as that. The Biden administration has tried various rebrandings for illegals, or illegal alien, or illegal immigration as justification for ignoring law enforcement, including migrant, undocumented person, and non-citizen. All can be true, but they're still doing something illegal. Like, it's like calling a criminal, well, you can't call them criminals anymore. So what would you have us call them? Undocumented rule breakers? I mean, what would you call them? The left's response to Biden calling illegal and illegal is proof why nobody on the right should ever use the word migrant. Okay, I don't have no idea what they're talking about. They rely on specific language because they rely on lies, so never, ever use their words, ever. Biden goes on to pretend that he doesn't use dehumanizing language against his political opponents, which is patently false. He does. I want to treat any of these people with disrespect. They built this country. He dishonestly added, conflating legal migrants with illegal immigrants. Oh, Viva Fry. Imagine how Lincoln Riley's parents must feel watching that demented old demon apologize for calling the illegal immigration accused of killing their daughter, an illegal. The intentional insult in injury, and it's purely inhumane. They are blessed takers. Hey, MS, how you doing? Oh my gosh. I do have to filter a little bit, just a little bit. Imagine how lanky. Oh, we already read that right there. Joe Biden has not only failed to say Laken Riley's name at the State of the Union address, but he also appeared to minimize the significance of her unfortunate death. Yeah, that was an easy way of doing it because, well, he don't care. I mean, if he can let a thousand people in, and one of the Americans die, it doesn't matter to him. If he lets 10,000 in, and one American gets cut, gets deleted because of that, it doesn't hurt him at all. He doesn't care. He never has. It's all about power and position and money. There have been 7 to 10 million illegals that have come into the country on Biden's watch. One of them killed Hope Riley. ICE spokesperson Lindsey Williams explained the circumstances of her suspected murder's presence in the United States before he allegedly bludgeoned Riley to death. Jose Ibarra, 26-year-old citizen of Venezuela, was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CPB, on September 8, 2022, after unlawfully entering the United States near El Paso, Texas. He was paroled and released with further processing. On August 31st, 2023, Ibarra was arrested by the New York Police Department, charged with acting in a manner to injure a child less than 17 and a motor vehicle license violation. He was released by the NYPD before a detainer could be issued. The House on Thursday passed a bill that would deport illegals into the U.S. who have committed certain crimes. The legislation was named in memory of the once promising illuminating student. 170 Democrats voted against the bill. So Thursday, they tried to create a bill for Lincoln Riley in her name, and 170 voted against it. Let's see. Biden said he had friends named Corn Pop was pretty racist. I'm sure it wasn't BS story, which it was. He couldn't even give his fake friend a real name. It says a lot. Yeah, it's all about the story. It should pass as a Senate, he said. That doesn't mean it will or would, but it should. This is common sense legislation. It's good legislation, and this can help our local law enforcement. So I'd hope the Senate would look at this from the standpoint, there's nothing wrong with this bill. There's nothing I could see that they could point at and say, that's wrong with this bill. And if we pass this, we should pass it, and good chance of help saving a life. Yeah. Mike Collins of Georgia was the bill's sponsor. Barry Loudermilk of Georgia also weighed in on the legislation. Her murderer was arrested in New York City weeks before release. Why shouldn't he have been deported at that moment by committing a crime? Donald Trump is seeking justice for Laken Riley and comforting her parents. Biden not only failed to meet with her grieving parents, but he cannot even say the name of the woman who was killed due to his border issues. Just like that fake hot sauce Southern accent a while back. They make themselves look stupid. You're hilarious. Oh, good morning, Jamie. Good to see you. Holy cow. Jamie. Oh, yeah. And you're going to have Baker going today. You're going to have Mo in the deep end going today. Probably about at the same time. That's going to be awesome. And let's see. Oh, I was going to show that. I showed that earlier, and that got me in a little bit of trouble. just because I reported some news. All right, so here's the court rules. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to cover this. So this is happened in St. Petersburg, Florida. A Florida law pushed by Ron DeSantis that limits diversity and race-based discussions in private workplaces is unconstitutional. A federal appeals court has ruled. A three-judge panel of the 11th U.S. Circuit Court on Appeals on Monday upheld Florida's ruling that the so-called Stop Woke Act violates the First Amendment as applies to businesses and is impermissibly vague. Well, here's the thing. How can it violate anything if it's impermissibly vague? If it's vague, then how is it violating? If I'm not mistaken, what I read from this bill, and I could be wrong because I didn't read the whole thing, so I'm speaking out of turn, is that it was basically saying you cannot stop somebody from speaking their mind, but we're not going to have this kind of grooming, like a dog groomer in our schools. There's a certain reason that we don't want to have our children talk to us in a certain way, and anybody that does, we're going to come down harshly on you. We're not doing this diversity training. That's not part of the game that we're playing. We're not doing this where we're going to have some sort of struggle snuggle. We're not doing that. We're eliminating this because it's costing businesses more money than needs to be, because somebody got butt hurt over words that were being said, like their words. If you don't like the words, then don't be there. It really sucks, but it's a beautiful place. This is a beautiful world, a beautiful place, and we should be able to say what we want to say. Except you're in a workplace, you can't. I mean, think about it. They do it right here on YouTube. There's certain things that you're not allowed to say. How is it any different than what DeSantis is saying in his own state? How different is it? By limiting its restrictions to a list of ideas designated as offensive, the act targets speech based on its content. Sort of like the YouTubes. And by barring only speech that endorses any of those ideas, it penalizes certain viewpoints. Huh. So maybe whenever YouTube comes for me, which they will eventually, whenever they come for me, then I can maybe go back and show them this right here, that a three panel of the U.S. 11th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld federal judges August 2022 ruling that the so-called act violates the First Amendment as applies to businesses and is impermissibly vague. So is that my fight with YouTube? Is that what I need to be talking about right there, and say, hey, the 11th U.S. court said, hey, you can't do this. Is that our fight against YouTube? Yeah, I don't think that's going to get much legs, but hey, we disagree with the court's opinion that employers can require employees to be taught as a condition of employment that one race is morally superior to another race, the governor's office said in an email. Isn't that beautiful? The First Amendment protects no such thing. What? And the state of Florida should have every right to protect Floridians from racially hostile workplaces. Now, here's where it comes in. The law prohibits teaching or business practices that it says contend members of one ethnic group are inherently racist and should feel guilty for past actions committed by others. It also bars the notion that a person's status as privileged or oppressed is necessarily determined by their race or gender, or that discrimination is acceptable to achieve diversity. Okay, that was a bunch of word salad. Let me see if I can break this down. So basically, what they're saying, teaching or business practices. Okay, I got it now. It makes a little more sense. It is word salad, but they have to do this because if they come right out and say what they mean to say, then it just sounds racist. Basically, what the bill says is we're not playing your diversity, ethnicity, racial game. This is what they're saying. It's like, no, everybody is to be created equal, and they were created equal in God's image. And if you don't like it, then tough. That's basically what they're saying. No racism, no sexism, basically. No. The way that they have it worded is it is okay. It is okay to be calling someone a racist if you're of a certain color. That's what the 11th court has ruled. You're allowed to be considered oppressed if you're a certain color or from a certain demographic. Yeah, that's basically what they just said. They said it's okay to be racist if you're a certain color. It's okay to oppress people if you're a certain color. If you're not, then you have no right to speak out against someone treating you like shit. This is what they're saying. That's what the 11th Circuit Court ruled. Hello, Zach. Good to see you. Jamie, stop loving everyone. She can't. She's a lover. Wish they would just use plain English. Well, if they did, like I said, it sounds really bad. Exactly. There you go. Melanie Beeman. Wow, that's horrible. Yeah. That's why they can't use plain English whenever they write these things. Because if you say what it is all about, it looks really damn bad on them. I mean, come on, guys. Don't you know how this works? Well, I saw this the other day, which I thought was really cool. This was the ex-Google engineer charged with stealing AI trade secrets while working with Chinese companies. Former software engineer at Google has been charged with stealing artificial intelligence trade secrets from the company while secretly working with two companies based in China. And I'm not even going to, Mr. Ding, I'm just going to say Mr. Ding, a Chinese national, little Ding, maybe little Ding. Chinese national was arrested in Newark, California on 4 counts of federal trade secret theft, was punishable by up to 10 years in prison. The case against Ding, 38, was announced at an American Bar Association conference in San Francisco by Attorney General Merrick Garland, who, along with other law enforcement leaders, has repeatedly warned about the threat of Chinese economic espionage and about the national security concerns posed by advancements in AI and other developing technologies. Today's charges are the latest illustration of the lengths affiliates of companies based in the People's Republic of China are willing to go to steal American innovation. FBI Director Christopher Wray said in a statement that theft of innovative technology and trade secrets from American companies can cost jobs and have devastating economic and national security consequences. Google says it has determined that employees had stolen numerous documents and referred the matter to law enforcement. We have strict safeguards to prevent the theft of our confidential commercial information and trade secrets, Google spokesman Jose Castaneda said in a statement. After an investigation, we found that this employee stole numerous documents, and we quickly referred the case to law enforcement. We are grateful to the FBI for helping protect our information and will continue cooperating with them closely. A lawyer listed as Ding's defense attorney had no comment Wednesday evening. AI is the main battleground for competitors in a field of high technology, with the question of who dominates can have their major commercial and security implications. Justice Department leaders in recent weeks have been sounding alarms about how foreign adversaries could harness AI technologies to negatively affect the United States. Oh, nice. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Jude. Hey, Jude. They're using words to sugarcoat it. Yes, exactly. That is how these things work. They sugarcoat it to the max. Garland echoed these concerns in San Francisco event, saying Wednesday that as with evolving technologies, AI has pluses and minuses, advantages, disadvantages, great promise, and great risk of great harm. Oh my gosh. Jude, welcome. You have been a member here for 3 months. Holy cow. That is wonderful. And I'll just give you this.
Nice.
Somehow I didn't hear that. That was weird. Hopefully, maybe my sound kicked off. It does that. Yep. It does that. My sound kicked off. See, this is why I enjoy using a separate microphone from the one on my headset, because it makes it a hell of a lot easier to do. Oh my. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much, Jude, for being here. These past 3 months have gone by so quickly. Oh my God, what did you do? I was in bed by midnight. My time, Judge Maddie. Oh my gosh. Check out the Continuum live Sundays. He is Maddie's mixtapes on Tuesdays and 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. Central Standard Time on KDHX with Judge Maddie. Tune in from anywhere in the world at kdx.org. Home. #schedule. That's awesome. See, we have real heroes out here, like real good people. Like me, I'm just an idiot with a microphone. Judge Maddie, he's the real deal. Garland echoed these concerns in a San Francisco event, saying Wednesday that, as with all evolving technologies, that it has pluses and minuses. And I'll say this about AI is the AI only spits out what information you give it. So it is woohoo publicity. Hell yeah. I give publicity all the time. This is Judge Maddie. This is the man right here, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only, coming at you live from KDHX. Midnights. KDHX. There you go. No, it's so like I was saying, AI is only going to spit out what information you give it. So if you give it bad information or untruths, that's exactly what it's going to spit out. Same way as a computer will, as that's what computers do. Which can be very confusing, because how would a computer differentiate between male or female? It wouldn't have to. It shouldn't have to. So whenever people go start talking about pronouns and all those kinds of things, holy cow, Sniper, thank you so much. Looks like Spirit Matter, you were gifted a membership by Sniper. That is awesome. All get out. Well, congratulations and welcome here, because now you isn't it awesome? Isn't it awesome? No, glad to have you. Glad to have you so much. It is wonderful. The guy who invented the internet was British, gave it to the world for free. Now it's an industry of companies making mega bucks. They should try safety and giving back, right? Getting off my soapbox. Yeah, well, also, here's the thing. Giving away the web is still there. It's the access to get that information from one point to the next. That's where it becomes really, really super important. Okay, and that's where companies are going to make their money. The internet is free, it is absolutely free, but getting it to you is what costs money. So keep that in mind. The internet is free. Getting it to you is what costs money. You know, it's like electricity. Electricity is free. It just costs to get electricity to you. That's where it becomes a big thing. You know, you've got somebody has to pay for those lines that are going from point A to point B. Then they want to make sure that it gets there faster to you, and faster and faster. You will not believe how fast these speeds can be coming at you here in, I would say, the next 10 years. The speed that stuff is going to be able to download and upload, and at the same time it's going to become almost seamless, where, you know, you'll have and yeah, these are some odd predictions, but I can say probably within the next 10 years you'll be able to access internet like almost like you do a cell phone. You'd be able to open up your laptop, access internet. It'll be pretty much anywhere that you go. You'll have an open Wi-Fi area, and you'll pay for it. I mean, trust me, you'll pay for it, but it'll come. As with all evolving technologies, has pluses, minuses. An indictment unsealed Wednesday in the Northern District of California alleges that Ding, who was hired by Google in 2019, had access to confidential information about the company's supercomputed data centers, began uploading hundreds of files into a personal Google Cloud account 2 years ago. Within weeks of the theft starting, prosecutors say Ding was offered the position of chief technology officer in an early-stage technology company in China that touted its use of AI technology and that offered him a monthly salary of about $14,800 a month, plus an annual bonus and company stock. The indictment says Ding traveled to China and participated in investor meetings at the company and sought to raise capital for it. Also separately founded and served as chief executive of a China-based startup company that aspired to train large AI models powered by supercomputing chips. Prosecutors say Ding did not disclose either affiliation to Google, which described him Wednesday as a junior employee. He resigned from Google last December 26th. 3 days later, Google's officials learned that he had presented as CEO of one of the Chinese companies at an investor conference in Beijing, also reviewed his surveillance footage showing that another employee had scanned Ding's access badge into the Google building in the U.S. where he worked to make it look like Ding was there during times when he was actually in China, the indictment says. Oh my. Handing Wolfie some tinfoil. Yeah. The CIA invented the internet to spy and use the most successful government project ever. I really don't care about getting faster internet. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't really miss faster internet. I doubt many people are really craving faster internet. You'd be surprised. In the beginning, internet was free. Unfortunately, everything does come down to the almighty dollar. Yeah, the internet is still free. It just costs to get it to you. That's all. And that was, that's the vehicle. Those power lines take a little bit to get to you. Can't remember the name, but Facebook is how we know it. I think they call it Meta now. I don't care about faster, just consistent. Yeah. Officials also reviewed that Ding was suspended. Google suspended Ding's network access, locked his laptop, and discovered his unauthorized uploads while searching his network activity. The FBI in January served a search warrant in Ding's home and seized his electronic devices, and later executed an additional warrant for the contents of his personal accounts containing more than 500 unique files of confidential information that authorities say he stole from Google. Damn. That boy is going to be in trouble for quite some time for that crap. Just insane. And of course, here we come with what, well, and they're also pushing a lot of the AI illegal, and this is going to become a very big talking point in the news. So your media stations are going to be going harder and harder at this as it gets closer to November. Okay. So pay close attention. You're going to see AI is going to become one of the top priorities, and it's going to come down to this little company called Logically AI. Now, you never heard of Logically AI. Well, then you haven't been paying any attention, because Logically AI is going to be the AI that does fact checking real time during presidential debates. Okay. Real time. It'll be doing fact checking on what is being said. So the reason that they're making all of this big splash about AI currently is they're working you into a little bit of a frenzy where you don't trust any AI for what its fact-checking capabilities are. The only thing is things like ChatGPT have not been hooked up to the internet. The actual learning portion of it is not hooked up to the internet, because if it found out what was actually out there on the internet, it might change its mind about a lot of the information that it gives you. They're worried it might come alive. but it's only as good as the information it gets. Exactly. And that's going to be one of the big talking points coming into this presidential election is you're going to see that AI is going to be fact checking what certain president has to say, and then they're going to go crazy, and they'll be saying, "Oh, this is not true. This has been totally debunked by what? By who? By AI." The neighbors can be free unless they're prostitutes. Well, there you go. And yes, HAL 9000 is the OG AI. So here we go with this one right here. As I said, it'll be getting closer and closer. As now the Justice Department beefs up focus on AI enforcement, warns of harsher sentences. The Justice Department is stepping up its focus on artificial intelligence, with officials warning Tuesday that companies and people who deliberately misuse the technology to advance white-collar crime like price fixing, fraud, or market manipulation will be at risk for harsher sentences. I'm not even going to try to go down their list of this DAs. Lisa Monaco said the Justice Department will take into account how well a company is managing the risks of technology each time it assesses the corporate compliance program. Such a program is a set of policies and procedures designed to detect misconduct and ensure that executives and employees are following the law. Okay, well, there you go. And Aaron, I'm Danish. We like potatoes almost as much as the Irish. That's funny. I mean, hookup through my phone company was free, but they were doing yet to get people started. Then they started charging. Yeah, it is the little hook that they hang in front of you. I hope you all are ready. We'll be getting Skynet soon. Yes. Yes. So the comments from the Justice Department number 2 leader underscore the extent to which law enforcement officials are concerned about how rapidly developing technology could be exploited by foreign adversaries or by corporate criminals to harm the U.S. The remarks were designed to put business leaders on notice of legal responsibilities to mitigate the risk of advancements in AI. It makes no sense to me. Let's see. Pen and paper is to kids what chisel and rock where it does. It's like Fred Flintstone stuff right there. Monaco disclosed the policy moves one day after the Justice Department announced charges against former Google software engineer accused. And I didn't even pull this one up first. It was just like, holy cow. Accused of stealing trade secrets from Mountain View, California-based company while secretly working with 2 China-based companies. Well, hoop-de-doo. Look, seems to me like we figured that crap out. Jesus. Holy cow. This is amazing. Well, that's not bad. I was just here not too long ago. Matter of fact, I know exactly where this is. My wife ate dinner right around the corner from here. So I'll show you here. So this is Charleston, South Carolina. My wife and I, we actually parked in a parking lot over here off the street, and then we went to and grabbed some dinner right down the street on the other side of this. Charleston, South Carolina, record-setting rainstorms have flooded parts of Charleston, South Carolina on Saturday, requiring emergency responders to help get some people out of the high waters. National Weather Service in Charleston reported that 3.63 inches, 9.22 centimeters of rain doused Charleston on Saturday, shattering the one-day record of 1.43 inches from 1948. The 1.95 inches of rainfall recorded at Charleston International Airport broke the record of 1.13 inches. Oh, good Lord, I don't care. Records. The pounding rain in the coastal city came coupled with a morning high tide. Charleston Fire Department said it responded to 12 instances in which vehicles were sinking. The department also helped relocate 13 people from vehicles or floodwaters. And high waters blew out several windows in a tire business and ripped off roofing sheet metal there and had 2 adjacent businesses while also snapping off the top of a power pole, according to the National Weather Service. In North Charleston, the ceiling of a church collapsed under heavy rainfall. Vice President of the tire company whose building was damaged, Bill Sekula of Hay Tire Pros, that part of the ceiling also collapsed on the inside. I guess it was like a microburst or something to that effect, but apparently it was raining harder than usual, and then the windows started to buckle and snapped over. These windows on the side just kind of came apart and came out of the building. Authorities in Charleston sorry. Authorities in Charleston did not immediately report any injuries due to the storms and flooding. Well, there you go. More storms. Wall-E is my favorite all-time movie. Yes, it was a fun movie. What was wrong with iRobot? What about dishwasher, washing machine, power saws? Can you say your AI place again? Could you say your AI place again? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Crazy stuff. Let's see. Nope, not showing that. I have to go through and eliminate a couple of things. Nope. Oh, I didn't know about this. This happened on Sunday. Let's share what happened here. All 5 aboard dead after small private jet crashes and burns in rural Virginia woods. Oh, man. A small private jet crashed in the woods and burned Sunday afternoon near a small airport in rural Virginia, killing all 5 people. Well, sorry for their loss. That really sucks. Twin engine AI Astra 1125 went down amid trees along the airport road in Hot Springs, a community in the shadow of the I am not even going to pronounce that. Allegheny Mountains, killing the pilot and 3 other adults along with a child. Oh, that's rough. Police and other emergency responders converged on a site in Bath County after the crash occurred about 3 p.m. The state's police spokesman told the Associated Press that the plane caught fire on impact. Investigators were working to confirm the origin of the flight and where it was flying to. Small crash site, everything is burnt, meaning the tail numbers are unidentifiable. The Administration National Transportation Safety Board try to identify the flight details and occupants. An FAA statement gave no preliminary information on the circumstances of the crash and said the agency and the NTSB will investigate. Hot Springs is located about 165 miles west of Virginia capital city Richmond. Local reports show what appear to be plumes of white smoke rising from an impact site. The airport was closed in the aftermath of the crash. Police said they had no further details and planned no further updates Sunday evening as the investigation continues. So hopefully we find some sort of information. Hopefully we get some more information on that, because that's really sad that people were lost. Really, really, really sad. And I'm going to close that when I'm done. So this is, do this one also. Is that? And I just got to close some of these tabs I've got opened up. I've got things that are move. Okay. I'm just closing these tabs and taking them out of my, I have to do this every so often because it's gets to be a real pain in the butt if I don't get some of these things turned off of here. Move and done. And that one's off. And go. Let's see. What exactly? Okay, no. I'm just sorry. I'm getting distracted by other things. Let's see. Someone's looking to oust a Republican Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss. Let's see that. Sorry about that. I was looking at something. Here we go. So, Madison, Wisconsin, backers of an effort to oust Wisconsin Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Voss from office over his opposition to Donald Trump announced Sunday that they've collected enough signatures to recall a vote. Supporters of the recall campaign plan to present signatures on Monday. Wisconsin Commission saying that they have more than the required signatures from the voters in Southeast Wisconsin District, with more than 10,000 signatures in our recall petition. They've said it loud and clear. Tired of status quo and demand new representation. Voss has dismissed the recall attempt as a waste of time and resources, which he reiterated in a statement on Sunday. He questioned the group's tactics and the validity of the signatures processing. The team he had assembled would evaluate each individual signature. The recall effort targeting highlights continued frustration among Trump's supporters in battleground Wisconsin over his loss in the 2020 election and how Voss responded to it. That includes how Voss refused attempts from Trump and his supporters to decertify Biden's win and how he didn't move forward with impeaching Wisconsin's top election official. Now, I don't know anything about it. So Trump nearly won Wisconsin in 2016, but lost to Biden by a similar margin of about 21,000 votes in 2020. The result has withstood two partial recounts, partial, of course, numerous lawsuits, an independent audit, and a review by a conservative law firm. The recall campaign's announcement Sunday comes after Wisconsin Supreme Court declined Friday to take up the Democrat Governor Tony Iver's request to clarify if Wisconsin's new legislative district maps apply to elections before November, leaving uncertainty about whether signatures for the recall attempt should be collected in his new district. Snork said Sunday that they took the court's move as a signal that efforts in Voss's current district were correct. First election in 2004, Voss is the longest serving assembly speaker in state history, holding position since 2013. Huh. And of course, they come up with discover a prostate cancer prescription treatment. Good Lord. That's the kind of stuff that I don't want to hear about. I mean, who cares? Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, they have all kinds of commercials. Shizzy, you know better. Stop it. That was totally a fair election. Stole from the White House that stole the White House from people's choice. Oh, come on! It was a totally fair election. It was a peaceful summer, a fair election. Like nothing happened. But yet, we still have this. And let me share it for you so you know what I'm looking at. And I saw a little bit about this, but I haven't been able to get too much information on it. So this right here was the Port-au-Prince, Haiti. The U.S. military said Sunday that it had flown in forces to beef up security at the U.S. Embassy in Haiti to allow non-essential personnel to leave. The aircraft flew to the assembly compound, saying the meeting was the effort involved helicopters. Are careful to point out that no Haitians were on board the military aircraft. That seemed aimed at quashing any speculation that senior government officials might be leaving as the gang attacks in Haiti worsened. Well, just imagine that. didn't if I'm not mistaken, wasn't a lot of the funding from Clinton's? I want to say that I could be wrong in this, but they had the Clinton Foundation or something like that, or the Hillary Haitian Foundation, or I don't know, something like that. But the Clintons were very involved in sending money to Haiti in support of their government, which like only a small percentage of it got there. it's all by myself. That's all right. I was going to try to tell people do YouTubey things, and my life flashed before your eyes. Yeah. The neighborhood around the embassy is largely controlled by gangs. They're left a personal into and out of the embassy is consistent with our standard practice for embassy security augmentation worldwide. No Haitians were on board the military aircraft. In many cases, non-essential personnel can include the families of diplomats, but the embassy had already ordered departure for non-essential staff and all family members. Do something like hit the like button. Maybe tickle the like button with a little feather. Yeah, there you go. The statement Sunday said the United States remains focused on aiding Haitian police in arranging some kind of UN authorized security deployment, but those efforts have been unsuccessful so far. Haiti's embattled Prime Minister Ariel Henry traveled recently to Kenya to push for the UN-backed deployment of a police force from the East African country to fight the gangs. But a Kenyan court ruled in January that such a deployment would be unconstitutional. Henry, who is facing calls to resign or form a transitional council, remains unable to return home. He arrived in Puerto Rico on Tuesday after he was unable to land in the Dominican Republic, which borders Haiti. On Saturday, the office of Dominican President Luis Abner issued a statement saying Henry is not welcome in the Dominican Republic for safety reasons. The Dominican Republic, which shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti, has closed its land border. Given the current situation, the presence of Haitian Prime Minister in the Dominican Republic is not considered appropriate. This decision reflects that the firm position of the Dominican Republic is to safeguard its national security and stability. Yes. Hospice Jess. Oh my gosh. Hospice Jess. Good to see you, girl. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. The statement described the security situation in Haiti as totally unsustainable and that it poses a direct threat to the safety and stability of the Dominican Republic. The statement predicted the situation could deteriorate even further if peacekeeping forces not implemented urgently to restore order. Members of the CARICOM regional trade bloc have been trying for months to get political actors to Haiti. Oh, geez. Acutely aware of urgent need for consensus to be reached, blah, 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 gang violence, and Henry, a neurosurgeon, was appointed as prime minister in 2021 after the assassination of President Jovenel Moise, something like that. I'm not good at. I didn't follow Haiti politics, so I don't know. This is crazy. Unrelenting gang attacks. It paralyzed the country for more than a week and left it dwindling supplies of basic goods. Well, go get your toilet papers. Go get your toilet papers now before it all goes to hell. But average Haitians, many of whom have been forced from their homes by the street fighting, can't wait. The problem for police and securing government buildings is that many Haitians have streamed into them seeking refuge. We are the only ones who pay taxes. We need to have shelter, said one woman who didn't give her name for safety reasons. Well, wise lady. The gangs came with big guns. We have no guns and we cannot defend ourselves. Oh, doesn't that sound familiar? The gangs come with guns and the population, they have no Second Amendment. You know, people tend to forget this right here, that other countries don't have the same rights that are afforded to United States citizens. Guess the wolves are too picky about that. Yeah. Yep. It is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So this is another thing if you want to see South Carolina, unless you what is this? I'll read that here in a bit. It says South Carolina's Camila Cardoso shoves LSU's Flay Jolly is ejected with 5 other players. Oh, I don't care. This is like college football, basketball shit. I don't care. I could care less about these people. You know, I'm not a big sports ball fan. Just saying. I mean, I watch college football, but I don't get like hog wild where, you know, them fighting words kind of attitude. That's just not me. I'm just not that way. So Biden's big speech showed his uneasy approach to deleting babies, an issue bound to be key in the campaign. Of course, I had mentioned that this would be something that they would be talking about. That they had killing the rights for killing babies as advocates. They have mixed reactions, raising concerns about the president trying to capitalize on what would be a central campaign issue while avoiding using the word kill. Killing rights have proved to be a potent issue, driving voters to the polls and boosting Democrats since the U.S. Supreme Court ended a constitutional right to the procedure nearly 2 years ago. No, they didn't. See, this is misinformation. This is wrong, and this is a lie. The U.S. Supreme Court never ended your right to have that done. They just handed it back to the states. The issue could be pivotal in the presidential race and congressional contest this year. Could be. During Thursday's speech, Biden deviated from his prepared remarks, skipping over the word kill and instead using the phrases reproductive freedom or freedom to choose. Well, no. See, I could have told you that they would do that. The word was used once in his prepared remarks when he introduced Kate Cox, the First Lady, Jill Biden's State of the Union guest, and Texas woman who was forced to flee the state after killing a baby and after finding her fetus had a fatal condition. Well, she wasn't forced to flee. She chose to flee. She chose to leave and go elsewhere. The text had Biden saying because Texas law banned killing. Instead, he said because Texas law banned her ability to act. Well, act appropriately. It's common for elected officials, especially Biden, to go off script or make in the moment tweaks for a host of reasons. By not saying the word kill, it implies that it's taboo or something to be ashamed of. Well, we didn't say that. We just said that, killing babies is not something that should be promoted or condoned. Executive director of pro killing people. It's stigmatizing and harmful. The president should do better. Well, yeah. Amy Hagstrom Miller, president of the CEO of Whole Woman's Health. See, I don't trust any of these people. CEO of Whole Woman's Health. I just don't trust anybody that calls them that. Good morning, T-Rex. You gotta get some stuff done. Okay. Don't want the TV. It's right over there. By the way, can I have your name for a police report? There you go. Hope your pooter comes out all right. Oh, I do too. I hope that works out really good. Absolutely. And so Amy Hagstrom said there was an uproar across the organization. She manages baby mills in Maryland, Minnesota, New Mexico, and Virginia. There was uproar across the organization as staff members texted the reactions to each other. Wow, staff members are communicating with each other about. And she's got it right. It's like death is what we provide and what people are being denied. She said, people don't call us for a reproductive freedom appointment. They don't ask for bodily autonomy visit or a choice procedure. They call for death care. And a death is a professional medical term for the health care we provide. Avoiding the word just shows the power of the historical stigma around death. There you go. The pushback over how he addressed the issue in his State of the Union speech is the latest example of Biden's fraught history with the topic. Many in the death rights movement have long viewed him as an imperfect messenger. Well, of course. Biden initially opposed the 1973 Roe v. Wade decision, saying it went too far. He also opposed federal funding for death and supporting restrictions on death later in pregnancy. The Biden's campaign strategy is to let the president, who is an 81-year-old Catholic man who has viewed the issue and evolved and who still doesn't use the word death much. His aides also want to highlight his evolution on the issue and how he still grapples with what can be an uncomfortable topic, but he firmly believes in the freedom of choice. Absolutely. As you should believe in the freedom of choice. It is a decision that each couple should make. And I think, me personally, that if you change the word of it to make it sound, just a little bit more pleasant, it's not a pleasant thing. And it should be something that's taken seriously. I think that's the biggest problem that we run into is people fail to recognize the seriousness of it because they want to not stigmatize. And That's where, you know, yeah, maybe you should stigmatize death just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has repeatedly used a disgusting and derogatory language when referring to women, and we will institute a national death ban, said Lauren Hint, spokesperson for the Biden campaign. The choice in this election is incredibly clear. Trump has taken credit for appointing 3 Supreme Court justices who made overturning Roe v. Wade possible. Now, that was already on the burner. I mean, it wasn't just the the Republican appointed justices. There was a lot of errors that they saw in that. No difference than the way that they viewed bringing up him being on, Trump being on the ballot in Colorado. Basically, they said, no, this is election interference, and you do this, let the people vote. Let the people make their decision if they want to vote for the guy or they don't want to vote for the guy. And that's how it should be. I would object just as much as if somebody came up and started saying that, well, we should have Biden removed from a ballot. No, I don't think so. I think he should be able to run in every single state. Shouldn't be removed at all. If he meets the standard, which I think he probably has. Biden aides believe they have reached a broader swath of voters by framing the issue around death as a fallout from the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade has moved beyond access to death and in such areas as IVF and birth control. Yeah, that's where it does become a little bit more touchy because I don't know enough about it. Good morning, Danielle. I hope you are having a wonderful time and catching up lots of sun rays. That's a beautiful thing. The strategy might appeal to some voters, but alienate others. Well, duh, that's how elections run. The question is if people sincerely believe that this framing is because he's thinking about death plus other issues and whether he's using the framing to avoid saying the word death due to discomfort, she said. She added that Biden could be more explicit about his perspective on death has changed, something many voters may be able to relate to. That's a story they can tell. Polling has found Americans broadly support death rights, and voters in 7 states have either affirmed the right or defeated attempts to weaken it since the Supreme Court ruling. And that's the beauty of it. States have every right to do exactly what they want to do without any interference from the federal government. A state can make their decision whether they want to have this or not have this, and that's the way it should remain. There are certain rights that should never be taken away, and that our federal government, has no say so in. That would be your First Amendment right, your Second Amendment right, third, fourth, fifth. They don't have access to our rights. And that's where people get hung up on this is, you cannot outside of an act of Congress, you cannot take away these rights. And the amount of uproar that you would get if you tried to take away certain rights would probably end you, in a I don't know. Let's put it this way. Probably somewhere around a Marie Antoinette kind of setting is what I would think. 64% of U.S. adults think death should be legal in at least some circumstances. Another survey conducted later that year also found that 60% of U.S. adults think the outcome of the 2024 election will be important for death policy. Okay. Well, these are pollsters. I don't always trust the polls. As they said that, so-and-so was going to win. Certain lady with a funny mustache was going to win. Many advocates say they want to see Biden offer more full-throated support. That just sounds wrong for death. In particular, they have said that sense of discomfort in his approach to speaking on the topic. Death could very well be the issue that the election hinges on. President of the National Death Group, Justice Group, All Above All Action Fund, if President all asterisk above all action fund. Okay. If President Biden wants to speak to the American electorate, whatever their faith, he should use his bully pulpit to be bold on death access. State of the Union address was the latest showcase of Biden's complicated relationship with any topic. He told the New Yorker last week, I've never been supportive of, it's my body. I can do what I want with it. Okay. Last month in New York, Biden referred to himself as a practicing Catholic before saying, I don't want death on demand, but I thought Roe v. Wade had it right. No, he didn't. He doesn't know. He's saying what they told him to say. He'd used similar words on the 51st anniversary of that court decision. In Maryland, and during a Maryland fundraiser last week in his reelection campaign, he said, I am a practicing Catholic. I'm not big on death. But guess what? Roe v. Wade got it right. That doesn't matter. He's doing what they told him to. Advocates also criticized Biden's use of the phrase death on demand, which they say was once an abortion, a death rights rallying cry that was co opted by the anti death movement. Those comments around death on demand are tied to stigma around death. Okay. Still, she said, we need to make clear that we are much better off under that leadership than under those who want to ban death outright. Biden has repeatedly called on Congress to restore Roe v. Wade protection, and his administration has made several moves to improve. What? But that has nothing to do with reproductive health. That's like destroying it. That includes defending the FDA's approval of death drug. I'm not going to pronounce that. And supporting the agencies and allowing pharmacies to get certified to dispense it. Federal agencies under this administration also improved death access for veterans and service members, issued guidance reminding death providers of their federal protections when performing death during medical emergencies, and filed lawsuits to defend the right to travel to another state for death care. Biden has been endorsed by major death rights organizations, including Planned Parenthood and Reproductive Freedom for All, whose CEO, Minnie, whatever her name is, praised Biden for speaking powerfully about the harms of death bans and the attacks on IVF. In his State of the Union remarks, Biden used part of his address to thank VP Kamala Harris, which has embarked on a multi-state reproductive freedom tour. You're free to reproduce, but it seems to me that they're taking that away. Yeah, women's right will be first. Yeah, they will take that away from me really quick, just so you know. When my mother got pregnant, it was adoption. Hold on just a second, folks. Just a second. All right. My lovely wife is getting ready to head to the office. Woohoo! It's party time. No, I'm just kidding. That means that I'm getting very close to having to shut this bad boy down. And I'm going to be talking more about some of this stuff. But tonight, guys, is going to be more of the Solomon Anderson interview, where I'll have Mo in the deep end tonight. So keep an eye out for that. I haven't created the live stream, but it will be coming up. So make sure you got your notifications turned on, because that's what we are going to be doing tonight. Is we're going to be doing some of the more of the Zachariah Anderson, and just sort of covering that. And then I'm hoping I can get the transcripts from somebody. Somebody's got to have the transcripts from any of the Lynette, John Crook. If I have those transcripts, I will read those things. We will do some dramatic readings. We will make it very entertaining. I'll go back to this. When my mother got pregnant, it was adoption or get married. They married. Not a good idea. Absolutely. Marriage is not always a great idea. Let's put it this way. My brother, I have a half brother that lives in Florida, He's been there almost his entire life. He was adopted, and at 4 years old, his adoptive father died, and his mother moved them to Canada because that's where family was. Because she was sort of depressed, she ended up turning into a little bit more of an alcoholic, and they tried to take him away, and she didn't want to have any of that, because she was older and she wasn't going to ever be able to have children. So she moved him and the entire, him and her moved to Florida, and he's been there ever since. She passed a while back, just because she was older. But had he was given up for adoption. Like my mother, I think, maybe saw him just for a couple of minutes, and that was well over 50 years ago that happened. And we got to know each other over the past 15 years. And had he been, had it gone the other way, I never would have got to know him. And what a great person he is, and what a kind and caring person he is, and how much he's done. And every little bit matters. But yeah, there's other options out there. There's plenty of people that should be there. Alabama has a barbaric manner of execution. Yeah, a lot of places do. A lot of places do. Mummy's gone. Dog party. Yeah. First time here. I like your content. Enjoy your chat. Thanks. Well, no problem, Melanie. And sometimes, I say things that might offend people, and just know that I don't do it to offend people. Dramatic readings by Shizzy. Yes. It would be dramatic readings by Shizzy and Mo, and it'd be good. It'd be good. Oh, thank you for tickling and subbing. Yes, Lefty. Shame on you. No, there's I don't try to offend, but I would prefer people use the words, instead of trying to downplay it. Those words have a lot of meaning. Whenever you downplay what something is, I think that ruins the idea and the concept. It's not to shame people. Lord knows, I've known quite a few women that have had to delete a life, and it's not something that's taken with a grain of salt, or at that time it never was. Not any of them were mine. Just the 80s was a wild time, and some of them decided to keep the child, and it was rough on them in that aspect too. I mean, there is no good way, there is no bad way, but I think that people should be thoughtful and call it for what it is. And I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody that I'm not one of those that's going to like take out an abortion clinic or some crap like that. That's not what I do. I don't recommend anybody doing that either. That's like horrible, because there's people there, there's lives, and destroying that is not going to stop it. If you don't like those things happening, then make legislation to get it passed where it doesn't happen. My concern is that whenever you take away the ability for people to make that choice, it becomes a problem. And as D. Robinson says, every person's life is different, and it's yeah. No, see, I have a way of doing her voice that'll be really easy. Once I get my computer up and running, I've got a voice mod that I'll do. It'll be good. It'll be good. I know exactly which one I'm going to use. Love last night. Ended up with a 5-year-old getting me up at 3:30, wanted to go to school. I had a nap when I went home. It was not fun babysitting. He was just starting new school. Oh, sorry, Georgina. No, we had a wonderful time last night with Kaiser Pineapple, and with I Have a Story. Also, you'll see you know um, Yamaha show up in chat every so often, and even Volstorm shows up in chat whenever he's able to. He's really good people, and I know that this is, it's one of those where you like want to do things, but you just like the real life takes precedent over all of that stuff. And that's what we want to keep it as, is real life taking precedent over the this 2D world of YouTube. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. We all made life choices we have to live with. I'm too busy with mine to worry about others. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I enjoy the morning whiz, and I hope y'all have a great day. I'll be back to watch more of the show if good Lord's willing. Well, I do end this usually before 9 o'clock because I actually have a daytime job that I have to work. And what I'll be doing is I'll be sending all you guys. Oh yeah, I hope so. So what we'll have is I will drop everybody over to watch Mo in the Deep End. Also know that you're going to see Baker. Like, hopefully she's able to jump everybody over into Baker after that, but she does the newsy news, and it is an absolute riot. Her take on things and her humor just is adorable to me, and I appreciate her so much. She actually would have come on last night had she just not been feeling up for it. She was like, I'm so sorry, I just can't do it. But it would have been great to have her on because she is a laugh riot. But with that, you guys get to see my new outro. So if you didn't see it last night, you get to see the new outro tonight or this morning. So it's a little bit longer than the other one, but at least you don't have any fake coffee drinkers. So with that being said, I guess I'll just leave you with this.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.